and get my name out, I gotta lower my prices, man. Motherfuckers be like, man, I ain't paying that. Like, well, thank you. Fuck out of here. But I gotta be more, you know. It is a fucking flea market. I saw what dude be charging. I'm like, $25 for a whole joint, nigga? Wow. And you selling yourself short. But he be making deals, nigga. I be seeing people walking around with his shit.
Who?
Mexican cat at the spot. You know, he came to me like, yo, how long you been, da da da? Because he been there for years and shit. And, you know, so I just been picking his brain and shit. And he do good work, man, but he just be charging like nothing for his shit. He do like landscapes and sunsets and all that bullshit. But still good work. I just ain't doing that. I hate doing that.
What, landscaping?
All that shit. I do it alright. If I practice it, I'll probably get better, but I don't have no fun doing that shit. Trees and all that bullshit. I want to get better at faces. So that's why I'm going to practice faces. Getting more accurate with the shit. Fuck that landscape shit. Fucking flowers and all that bullshit. But that's what he do. And I always be seeing people walking around with his joints. Like he done sold another one. But they cheap. $25 for fucking, what? 16 by 20 or 18 by 24? Like this size?
You said
$25, nigga?
right?
Yeah, like sunsets and shit.
Oh, you talking about painting?
Yeah.
Oh.
What you thought I was
talking about? Landscaping.
Nah, he paint.
I thought you talking about lawn care.
So he came and gave me props, man. He's like, man, you do good work, la la la. I'm like, thanks, man. But I ain't see his shit at the time. So when I went and saw his shit, I'm like, yeah, you do good work, man. Like, how the fuck you getting like $25, nigga? For this size shit? I put too much time in my shit, man. And I need to get better with speed and shit. But that's cheap, nigga. I ain't doing that. Maybe a little drawing. But even the drawings to be taking time. If I do work on something for a whole day, $25, nigga, I can't do that. I sold a couple for like 40 and 50. And I still felt like I was selling myself short.
Oh, boy, this is the damn day of the scam calls.
Oh, yeah, holiday nigga.
I done had them 3 of them calling me already.
That girl on Instagram keep goddamn, are you ready to start? I'm like, bitch, I told you, I'll let you fucking know. Let me stop talking like that. Edit that part out. She be watching this shit.
But anyway. Man, how long we been doing this, man?
A good year? Over a year?
It's been a year?
Yeah, it was about, what, July, right?
Definitely, yeah. Last summer.
Yeah.
About a year, damn. That's a long
Year and a
time.
half, man.
So we got about
September, nigga.
what? Shit, I know we got at least
Year and a quarter.
We got at least damn 80 episodes. At least.
Something like that.
And you
At least once a week.
you be checking out the analytics, don't you?
Oh yeah, I started checking the analytics out, man. And I don't know how the fuck I missed it, you know. But I don't know how accurate the shit is, but the shit say 90% of our shit is from people outside of the States. We don't get many views, you know. Like I always say, there ain't nobody watching this motherfucker anyway, but I think it's that's interesting. So I started thinking like, what interests them? What bringing them to us? You know, whether it's sustained, like they listen to the whole shit or watch the whole shit. The fact that it's intriguing to them, what's intriguing about it? If there are, you know, if they watch them on a consistent basis, why? My thing is why. What's interesting about this shit we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, what you think?
It's interesting. It's interesting that they're interested.
So what you think it is that's interesting about us
Man,
to people that ain't from here?
That's the whole purpose of why.
Oh, okay,
Even,
so
you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, so
you know,
I guess it's up to us to start the conversation. You know, so I'm a put it out there like.
and they ain't commenting though. They ain't commenting.
Well,
So
we have had comments in the past.
Well, yeah, well,
I don't think we've
couple-
been interactive enough.
a couple, not.
We haven't been, because it all started as just talking shit to becoming more of a, political, talking about what's going on in the world type shit. To now it's more, even though it's all nonsense, it's more serious, I guess. We talk about serious shit on here. We be clowning the motherfucking establishment, which it needs to be clowned because it's a bunch of fucking clowns, whatever the case is. So, I still feel like there's potential in what we do. There's a space for it. Shit is kind of necessary because I don't be seeing it like that. So my question is like, what about what we talking about is interesting to people that ain't necessarily from America, that ain't black people, that, because we all humans, you know what I'm saying? We dealing with our own societal shit, government shit, our own government.
Vices and verses.
You know what I'm saying? Our own cultural shit. But we all humans. So, if you are from outside of the states and you are, consuming
part of
this,
that 90%.
Part of the 90% that's supposedly watching our shit. Would you comment on that whole question? Like, what's interesting about our broadcast, garage, low tech situation that we got going on? What about that is interesting to you? So I put it out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause
or the whole American thing. I mean.
Yeah, or the whole American perspective.
That's what we talk about.
What we talk about, or what I talk about, and what we talk about is trying to understand, relate.
Relations, cultures, all that, what you just mentioned earlier.
But it's from a black American perspective.
Yeah.
I try to stay in tune to what black people got going on, but I have no choice to be in tune with what America got going on. Because it's all kind of the same thing. So, the black thing is important in that thing, and the American thing is important in that thing. That whole perspective thing. So, I feel like, when I check out international news outside of America, I value their perspective. Problem is, I don't know what the fuck to believe. You know what I'm saying? So, just like we got propaganda, exists outside. You have the RTs and the BBCs and the, different, Al Jazeera, all these different fucking corporations, media corporations that tell their side of things. With YouTube and different, platforms where we can get an individual perspective from within another culture. Those are the ones I gravitate to because I feel like it has to be more honest.
Keep talking, but I gotta cut.
Do what you gotta do, man. You know what I'm saying? In order to understand what's going on in the world, it's important to understand what the fuck is going on in other places. Because all these motherfuckers be lying and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the question. If there is anybody watching this motherfucker, which it probably ain't, I understand. But if there is, let a nigga know, why you fuck you paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I guess we gotta pause it.
And why we should continue to keep doing this.
Well, I don't give a fuck about that part because I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
Because it's important to me. But it's also important other people's perspective on the whole thing.
Right. Other people's perspective is important.
Yeah, because we're all on the same boat for the most part. All these motherfuckers, everybody on the kill list. You know what I'm saying? We all on the motherfucking kill list ultimately. Beyond, white supremacy and all that bullshit, and the whole secret society, they whole agenda and all that shit. Niggas is under attack. We've been under attack. We gonna be under attack because, they can't have it to where where we rule again. Because then that's their demise. So that's simple. But the fact that all us is on the chopping block is kind of more the point. That's how we can kind of relate. Because white people trying to kill us, and white people trying to kill white people too. Because white people are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, do this thing real quick. No offense.
Just press the button on the keyboard.
No offense to the good ones.
Give me the keyboard. Give me the keyboard.
The good ones. You know the beauty about saying that? White people killing white people because white people fucked up? It's because white people get it. The evil ones get it, and the ones who ain't evil get it. Oh man, I'm fucking wasting my time with this shit.
Yeah. But I'd definitely like to know though. Just the interaction, like, be very
man. Shit, it's important.
And also for the
it's kind of the whole point of the thing, man.
Too. The whole networking thing, man, is, that's where we at with this shit. So it's like,
Yo, I had a joke, right? So, alright. So, we was gonna talk about the whole mental state right now. People's mental state. Typically from America, black people in America, that whole thing.
Yeah, we got a young gun in the chair today. He might have something to say.
What you got to say?
Starting his, come on now. You starting your life. You getting life started. As a young black man in America. Huh?
I said it ain't easy.
You see what's going on. What you, 20?
Oh boy. That's yeah, man. What you think, man? How you feel about social media, man?
It's just drama. It's a little drama. It's good and bad.
You fool with it? Fool with it a lot?
I mean, I get on there and see what people saying. I don't really post like that, though. Yeah.
Probably smart right there. Smart way to look at this shit. People are fucking nuts, nigga.
Every angle. Man, how you gonna walk away, man? Come on, man.
I don't think the mic can
Making me work, huh?
I don't think the mic can hear.
No, it's working.
It's working.
What?
I don't know if you can hear.
Oh yeah. It's good. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. So
Matter of fact,
no, I wanted to hit this video real quick.
Probably could put it up there now, since it's working. It's working.
I ain't seen the no wave thing on
It don't matter. That's cause you ain't up close on it, but it's trust me. It's catching all that. If I stopped it right now and played it back, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. Even when I was talking in it up close, the waves were so big, you know what I'm saying? You need to back up from it anyway.
Yeah, man, it's important to hear the kids' side, not kids necessarily, because you ain't a kid, obviously.
The
But
young generation.
yeah, man, the young generation, man, the generation under mine, man. You
See
know,
how they feel about.
what you think how you feel about the current mental state? Like, what you think about, you know, if you pay attention to sports, you see Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles, like, yo, I need fuck this shit. I need to take a break from it. What's your opinion on that? Like you think that's soft? You think that's weak, or you think that's necessary at this point?
I mean, sometimes, cause, I mean, stuff going behind the scenes that we don't know about sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't see. That's not. Usually, unless an athlete, quote unquote, is injured, you don't see them dropping out of prestigious events. I'm talking the Olympics. I'm talking about with the French Open or whatever the fuck Naomi Osaka dropped out of. You talking about, like, you don't usually see people at the top of the game saying, "Nah, I just ain't gonna play today for the championship." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, usually you looked at as a coward and shit, like you soft, or put that emotion shit away. But that shit is being celebrated now. Like, give her a mental space and all that shit. Like,
Girl, that's crazy right now.
you think that's crazy, right? That's my opinion of it. Like, it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm gonna take some time off, but to celebrate that shit, like, you could be like, yeah, I understand, but you can't be like, yeah, girl, take your time like you need to. Fuck out of here, nigga. Since the fuck when? If Jordan would have been like, nah, I'm gonna take this finals off, after winning fucking 72 games, nah, I'm gonna take the finals off. Motherfuckers would have been like, what the fuck you mean, nigga? Like, fuck you mean, nigga? Ain't nobody gonna be like, yeah, man, he deserved to take time off, man, because he been winning for so many years. Hell no, nigga, that ain't how shit work. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit is all conditioned, all fucking making niggas weak. Making weakness cool and shit. Making it easier for a nigga to say, oh, fuck it, I just ain't going. I'm gonna take some time. Man, when is that shit cool, nigga? It's one thing to have to do it, but it's a whole other thing to celebrate it. What the fuck is the celebrating part about?
Yeah. I mean, cause
They even celebrate old girls.
Think about the motherfucking commercials.
What?
Think about the commercials where they even talk about
Mental health and shit?
it's not really not the mental health commercials, but the commercials where it says, or maybe they might be memes that I'm thinking about, where they say, no time off for mom, no time off for dad. You know what I'm saying? But you celebrating taking time off from a mental, because even raising kids is mental. That's a mental thing too.
Yeah,
so
it all boils down to
you
where
can't
you at
take no
mentally.
time off. Ain't no time off.
Even if you do,
So how do you?
what the fuck is we
how
doing
do you
celebrating
How
it?
do you celebrate it? And it's confusing. You celebrate it and uplifted at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You celebrate it, but then you promote it as no time off at the same
Oh,
time.
you saying two different things?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the. Well, I mean, it's all about confusion. It's all about contradicting statements, contradicting ideas and shit. That no time off is kind of genuine, organic. I realize I got a family. I ain't got time to be taking breaks and shit. Even though I do take breaks, the whole mindset of, I got too much to do to be slacking and shit. That's cool. I need to take time off is cool too, but when it come time to step up in a situation that ain't necessarily normal,
Right.
and be like,
the goal.
nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna, I mean, you look at life, nigga, like, we kind of at that point with school and shit, with our kids and shit. Like, we have no business sending our kids to school, these schools that they go to.
And the thing
But-
about and let's say the thing about gymnastics, that's the highest of the pinnacle. Gymnastics
As far as the Olympics,
and
most
racing,
popular.
that's the most popular. That's the highest of the pinnacle. See, a basketball player can say that because he like, I ain't making no money off this shit.
What you mean, the Olympics?
Yeah, you ain't really making no money off Olympics. That's fucking, unless you get endorsements. Endorsements is how you make money in Olympics.
No, that's a whole different thing. Cause
he's playing.
NBA is the pinnacle.
Right.
USA is down here.
But I'm saying
Olympics.
to play in the Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Don't benefit him except for the medal.
It's different. It's different. Yeah.
That's why
The NBA is up here. The Olympics is down here. But in gymnastics, the Olympics is up here. And
Right.
everything else,
Right.
it's a whole different thing. So for her to say no to the Olympics after doing a whole year of the other shit, it's like, what the fuck you mean you ain't doing the Olympics?
Or a runner, or a track runner too.
Yeah, the Olympics
same
is the
thing,
pinnacle in those
yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
The NBA trumped the Olympics in basketball. Like, niggas ain't saying I'm stepping down. Niggas like, I ain't got time for that
if they
shit.
decided not to play, they would lose their endorsement.
Who?
The track runners and
That's what their endorsement is based on.
but
The
they would
Olympics.
lose their endorsement if they say I ain't gonna compete. What?
You supposed to. What the fuck is they endorsing you for if you ain't playing?
Right. So how you get paid
It ain't the same in the NBA because the
for
NBA
that year?
trumped the Olympics. If you don't go to the Olympics, nobody give a fuck.
Because they don't pay for you to damn train for these damn months and months and months.
Yeah, if you in track
Now
or you in
talking about
gymnastics and shit.
You ain't gonna
And it ain't like nigga is talking down on mental health. I'm not talking shit to her or
right.
you know, unless she being a fucking, you know, playing a role for the thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's genuine and she just feel like she needs to step down, okay, do what you gotta do, but it ain't like, girl, take your time and shit and fuck them niggas. It's like, nigga, you gotta do what you gotta do. The shit becoming popular now. And everybody leaning on the whole mental health thing. That shit seem like to me is fucking not a good idea. Unless you're working on coming up with another system where you do your thing. Like if the NBA, if the niggas in the NBA was like, fuck the NBA, we gonna build our own shit, I'm all for that.
So why do you feel like it's not a good thing?
What? I think it's conditioning people to be fucking weak. That Mamba shit. They can't, you know, you can't have a Mamba motherfucking attitude and say, yeah, I'm just taking this one off. I need time to, you know, get my head right and shit. Imagine Kobe saying some shit like that. I'm gonna take the finals off. Or Jordan. I know this is important to a lot of people, but I'm gonna just take it off because my head ain't right. Imagine that shit. I can see LeBron doing it. I think LeBron is kind of the same, you know, the same kind of trajectory, arc type shit. That whole alpha shit, you know, LeBron ain't necessarily, his personality ain't necessarily that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jordan was an alpha, nigga. Kobe, not so much. You know, Jordan kind of the pinnacle. Like, Jordan trying to take your fucking head off, nigga. And if you say something that he don't like, nigga, he gonna kill you. Like, that mentality type shit. Like, you know, Kobe could never be that because Kobe is like a copy of it. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many rings he did, he designed his whole shit based on Jordan. And he didn't have that shit that Jordan had. But he was close. That Mamba shit is close. You know what I'm saying? This stepping down shit ain't that. For mental health, nigga, because I don't feel good and I'm depressed and shit, I'm gonna just turn my back on this whole thing? Nah. I don't see why you celebrate it. I understand it if that's what you need to do, but I ain't gonna celebrate it. You still kind of look weak to me. Right?
Well, what else can be said?
Especially when you Simone Biles, nigga, like you're the best in the
People
world
gonna
ever.
ask. It ain't like people wasn't gonna ask like, where's Simone? Where's, you know, They're gonna ask. So what else can be said?
Yeah, she just came out and said it, nigga. Like, are you injured or anything? Nah, I just feel, you know, I ain't never really feeling good about life and shit. So I'm gonna just take this time off. It's like, okay. Then you read the newspaper and it's like, yeah, celebrate. Fuck out of here. I just don't understand it. And if it was just her, you understand it. It seemed to be a pattern now. Like,
What
they
would you have
pushing
rather
that
for them to say
bullshit.
that?
Huh?
What would you have rather for them to say? She said it.
Well, I don't want her to put herself in danger because she's saying that's the main thing. You can't be half-assing this gymnastics shit. If your head ain't in it, you fuck around and hurt yourself. I get that. You know what I'm saying? So if she was by herself and the only one that did it, I don't celebrate it, but I get it. It seemed to be a pattern now, though. With Naomi Osaka, she just dropping out of shit. Her mental health, she don't feel good about it. And it's like, okay, I get it, but this whole movement is celebrating that shit. That's what I don't understand. Unless it's real. I can't blame individuals if I see an agenda to do that thing. If I see an agenda bigger than just people pushing that kind of shit, like we talk about hopelessness and shit, despair and all that shit. If you see an agenda pushing it, you can't blame the individuals that's dealing with it, without taking that whole thing into account. You feel me? So that emo rap shit and everybody crying and shit and I'm in my feelings and shit, that ain't necessarily organic. That's something that's being kind of created. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an extension of it.
How did it look? I guess so. That's how it looked by the creation of it, by celebrating.
It's just an extension of it.
Did you hear what he said? Yeah. How you feel about that? As a young 20-something years old.
I caught on to the thing about LeBron. I feel like LeBron would have left out. Because he did win the championship in the bubble. I think he don't get enough credit for that. When they tell you all the stuff that happened in the bubble, like they was on lockdown, they can't really see the things, like this, that, and the other. I feel like that was a mental thing too. Everybody didn't want to play, and this, that, and the other.
I think it's the same thing with LeBron and the super team shit with D Wade and shit, and then KD thinking it was okay to join Golden State. This shit couldn't exist back in the day, nigga. Niggas didn't think like that. That's Jordan. He stuck it out, nigga. Like he had shitty seasons for the first 5-6 seasons of his career, nigga, and he was just like, yo, we gonna do this shit. We gonna figure it out. You wouldn't get no respect back in the day going from a team that's good, but keep getting their ass whooped by one team and join that team, nigga. Like if Jordan would have joined the fucking Pistons, nigga, or if Patrick Ewing would have joined the fucking Bulls or some shit, man, they would have laughed his ass out of the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Cause there ain't no fucking misunderstanding that shit. OKC had a good team for a few years. And KD was like, man, I can't, fuck this shit. If you can't beat them, join them, nigga. And literally did that shit. Not just a team that's good, but the team that kept a foot in his ass. And his team. Just like Jordan. If Jordan would have went to the Pistons, nigga, they would have been like, what the fuck? It ain't that hard to understand. But now niggas is like, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. I got 4 kids to feed. You can understand it without agreeing with the shit or playing like you do when you don't. Because you scared of what other motherfuckers gonna think and all that shit. Because that's just a bitch move, nigga. Ain't no way around that. Right? Am I right? Am I fucking wrong? That Kevin Durant situation.
Yeah, you're right, but I was talking about what you were saying earlier, that's why I asked him what he thought.
Well, with the LeBron thing, LeBron kind of made it cool, made it okay to do it. You had KG went to Boston, but them niggas was old at that point. It wasn't really just stupid. LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, and and they don't talk about the other players they got. That's just a blatant, ain't no mistaking what the fuck that is. And then KD to even top that shit is like, man, what the fuck? And it's cool that they did this, whatever, but you can't expect niggas to not say, yo, that's a bitch move, nigga. Period. Right? But that whole mindset, like, niggas is soft. LeBron ain't never took no stance on nothing. You know, he ain't honest about shit. His school and all that shit. It ain't what the fuck they present it to be. Ain't none of that shit what they present it to be. Ain't none of these niggas honest about shit. You know what I'm saying? Till they retire. Then they can speak a little
truth. You see stuff like that going on in your environment? Right here in from, I'm going to say from, you stay in King Mount, right? Mount Holly. Okay, well.
Hey, I don't know if this shit recording, man.
Why?
Shit
went out.
Yeah. You need to change the time on the thing, so it don't just cut off so quick.
You do.
That's Apple, man. I don't know.
You mean as far as mental health goes?
Yeah, that too. But as far as like, as far as mental health goes, and what we just not talked about, like just in this area, from you stayed in King Mountain before, right? Didn't y'all stay in King Mountain one time? Okay, well that's what I'm saying. Just that vicinity of the area.
I mean, yeah, like people my age, like, just smoking, chilling. I mean, all you doing is limiting yourself.
Cause I've seen you grow. You know what I'm saying? I've been cutting your hair for what? You know what I'm saying? I've seen you grow, and now you see you growed up, and now you a hard worker. You out there trying to do your thing. You know how me and Sean was. You know how me and Sean is. You had to get yourself together, boy. You feel me? We've been telling you that, and you took our advice, and you doing your thing. Proud of you. So you know what I'm saying? When you start looking at your peers, how do you see it?
Yeah, when I see like certain people around me,
and for yourself, do you see it working for yourself by just being, active?
Yeah. I'm working in the sun club right now, but I know that's temporary, so I don't like anything can happen. Like right now, we short staffed. I have to do a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna be the one to get stressed out because I'm not a part of management, so I don't really have to stress about stuff. And I know it's temporary.
Right.
So I guess sooner or later I'm gonna get a better job. And if you're this slowly doing this, you gotta select the other shit, discipline and this, that, and that. It's good to me. It's real crazy. It's interesting going on. You can't help the people around you if they don't help themselves.
Say that one more time.
You can't help the people around you if they don't help themselves.
How much you think your pops in your life?
Yeah.
How much you think having your pops in your life affect how you, like what you just said? Like,
Yeah, I mean, he helped me a lot. He gave me a lot of advice in life.
yeah, man, like this shit is so important, man. Like
It is.
when they, niggas could call it what the fuck they want, but when they devise the plan to get fathers out the household, I don't think people, I understand women gotta do what they gotta do, but that shit gotta be taken into account, nigga. Like, why we are the way we are, man. Like, to have a father and to not have a father is a big gap, man. If your pops is doing the right thing and shit, that's a big gap that I don't think, like, that's huge, man. For mental health, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're a boy growing up and you ain't got no pops, nigga, like, when you going through shit, going through puberty and shit, fucking with girls and, figuring out what you gonna do with your life and shit, If you ain't got a father that kind of been there, niggas, how the fuck you deal with that? Somebody you could trust, go to anytime, keep it real with you. What you do with that if you ain't got that? Somebody that holds you to fucking, your word and shit. A mother can't do all those things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely can't leave it in the hands of these damn athletes and shit.
Yeah, and that's what niggas, that's what they do. Somebody got to be a role model, like.
Or in the hands of even Google.
Especially these robots and shit, man. Like, the robots want our destruction any motherfucking way. So, if you following that, nigga, you bound to drown, nigga. Following this propaganda shit, you bound to drown, nigga. Like, how you follow something that don't want you to do good? Rappers and shit. They not keeping it real. They doing what they feel like they gotta do. So how the fuck they gonna teach you? Tricking, how they say? It ain't tricking if you got it. Like, these mantras and shit. Get rich or die trying. All this shit. I don't love these hoes. A pimp is a pimp for a reason, nigga. A pimp ain't a happy motherfucker, man. A pimp is a motherfucker who fucked up in the head. You supposed to love a woman and shit.
Pimps, man, not all pimps. You can't say that about all pimps.
Man, bullshit. In order to be a pimp, nigga, you gotta be fucked up.
Nigga, you can't say that about all pimps.
What you mean?
Depends on what you pimp.
What?
Depends on what you pimp.
To get a bitch to sell pussy and give you the money, nigga?
Oh, he talking about that pimp.
What the fuck is pimping, nigga?
I mean, shit, nigga.
These staff companies is pimps.
Hey, you do your art. You pimping that shit, nigga. You pimping. I'm just saying.
What is pimping? Why you do that shit?
I understand what you.
In order to be a pimp, nigga,
Hey,
you gotta.
But you gotta be creative too. You gotta be creative.
You gotta
with
be
your
smart.
Style,
Yeah.
With your style, with your way, with
You
your
a smart,
action.
fucked up
and that's
nigga.
my way of damn saying I'm pimping nigga. You feel me?
I think a pimp will tell you. I read fucking Donald Goins and Iceberg Slim and them niggas, man. Like, them niggas ain't happy with their shit. They do what they feel like they gotta do.
Depending on what type of pimping you doing, like I said, nigga, what you pimping?
What, man, what the fuck is pimping, man?
That's what I know what you talking about. I'm just trying to get you to understand where I'm coming from. Change your mind state.
And these media companies ain't nothing but pimps, nigga.
Cause that brings me to a question that I want to ask the young man right here again.
ESPN and shit, fuck them niggas, man.
You know, not to get off course of how you going with it, but what do you think? Cause I know this is it's kind of big. I think it is. What do you think about entrepreneurship? Yeah, entrepreneurship. I hear a lot of people talking about wanting to do their own thing. That whole 2020 pandemic shit made people kind of wake up to, oh hell, I gotta do some shit. I gotta do something for myself. Woo, 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 woo. So the talk is kind of big right now. And then going back to what he was saying, he's saying about the conditioning to be a quitter. But when you trying to do something, you can't be no quitter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Barbershop wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be doing what it's doing if I just said fuck it.
Yeah.
And I didn't, cause this was a mess. I had to pull everything off the wall, sweep around the wall, then push everything back out, and then put this shit together. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, times get hard, but you can't give up. I mean,
Hey, so what you think about entrepreneurship, though? You know, I heard you say you were gonna be at Sam forever. So what's on your mind?
Next, I don't know now.
You ain't gotta tell everything. I'm just, I'm just talking about the entrepreneurship part. If that was something that you had on your mind.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna have it on my mind.
Right.
But I could look into it, but I mean, that's pretty smart. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
You ever thought about running your own business?
I mean, yeah, in the future, that would be nice. I want to be my own boss someday. Yeah, I don't just want to be working under somebody.
Job, right?
Yeah.
What about working a job make
Working
you
a
say
job.
you don't want to do that?
Yeah. Sure, I like working.
Like, what about working a job make you say you want to be your own boss at one point? Like, what is it about working a job that you feel like being your own boss is better?
Um,
Cause motherfuckers can make good money working a job.
I don't know.
Cause just from my experience, man, like it's a whole lot harder to run a business than you want to a job.
It probably is.
But
It is. I mean, not to deter you from it, because it has its benefits too. But being a business owner myself,
Man,
I would say benefits. Beneficially.
feel like you a man.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't nothing easy.
Right. Because it's like cutting grass. You see the grass, the yard all messed up, and you clean that yard and cut the grass, then you look back at it and be like, damn, I did that.
That shit look good. Drink a
You know what
band
I'm saying?
shit.
Damn, that shit look good as hell. Well, I done cleaned
You smell that fresh cut grass and shit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the
Oh, the
same
thing
thing.
went off again.
I did this. Look, I did this, man. I put this together. Whoop. Still rolling.
Thing went off. I don't know if it still be rolling. Man.
Yeah, it's still be rolling. So
Yeah, it's the whole like feeling like a fucking man, like fulfillment, like looking back and being able to say that I created this shit. Not only did I have the idea to bring it and make it real, but I was able to build something and be able to sustain your life from it.
And it's like it's something that keeps you there going.
And you ain't got to answer to no
They keep
motherfucking
you
body.
fighting in a good way. Even though you're gonna have your little, you're gonna have moments, cause
But you gotta push through it.
right, but you still fighting that machine too. You still fighting against the machine. Trying to create your machine, fighting against a machine. Ain't that some shit? Trying to get your machine going, crunk, keep that motherfucker, oiled up and lubricated and operational. You fight against the machine. So there's so that's one reason I can say that type of grooming, as far as the grooming people to be quitters, that's where I see that being a problem too, cause could that throw the entrepreneurial mind state off?
Damn, say what now? My bad.
With the statement of conditioning people to be quitters, could that throw the entrepreneurial mind state off?
They trying to destroy small businesses. That's what this whole COVID shit was about, man. Not all, but a part of it. So they realized that as far as being able to create and sustain communities, business leaders are the top of the fucking food chain. Like, business leaders or business owners create
More business owners.
create environments and give blueprints on how to make money outside of that whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They have to, in order to shut the economy down, they have to stifle that thinking, that entrepreneurial spirit type shit. You know what I'm saying? That whole, if you don't see it, If you see a void, filling that void of commerce, making money on something that fits into the whole thing. They got to destroy that in order to shut the economy down, like in a larger scale. So, you know, it's all big corporation over small business at this point. That whole Walmart is still open, but all the small businesses got to close shit, forcing niggas to accept that shit. It is what it is. My shit shut down, I can't make no money, so fuck it. I guess I'll, you know, fall in line or whatever the fuck. Apply for these, you know, for this PPP money and shit. What is it? PPP? Whatever? Them loans and shit. Whatever the fuck. You have to end up falling in line if you ain't got no other option. You can't even open your doors, nigga, to do business. So, what the fuck? What you gonna do? And that's another thing. Like, people just like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna just have to shut this business down and get a job. If I can't even do business, nigga, what am I doing? That whole thing. You know, all this, that communist shit, man. That whole fucking relying on the government. You don't have no value. You don't have no worth. You just a cog in the wheel, nigga. You just a useless fucking eater. That whole thing. You can't tell a business owner that. You can't tell a motherfucker who's, you know, built something and proven multiple times in his life that I'm not important. Fuck you mean? I did this, nigga. I built this shit. Just an idea in my head and I made money from it. To feed my family and shit. I don't even know what the fuck we was talking about, man.
We was talking about this. Well, we was on the entrepreneur thing, but to even take that further, what I had sent you earlier about uniform, what I sent you?
The what?
The uniform codes.
Uniform states. I don't know what that shit mean, man. I don't know what that mean.
That's what I was going to say. I was listening to something they was talking about. Well, I was listening to it. I was watching Small Courts. And the dude it was something with him and his baby mama where, you know, I don't know, I kind of missed some of it, but he was talking about, she was saying that he was being lazy, wasn't working, wasn't pushing his weight, and he owed her money. But obviously the kids love their dad, so they're giving, you know what I'm saying, help take care of him. So the judge was like, well, sir, you know, we have, states have uniform code that means you have to go work and take care of your responsibility.
Right.
Uniform state. So what is uniform state? I never did get to look into it because, you know, I had started working.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you so you can look it up. Look it up.
Damn, my phone.
Uniform states. What is the uniform states? It's some type of code trying to make you have to work or trying to force you to work. That you have to keep up a certain status or something.
Well, I mean, you gotta do
What
something.
are the uniform states? What are uniform states?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, man.
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. The uniformed services are, in order of precedence when in formations: United States Army, United States Marine Corps, United States Public Health Service Commissioned Corps, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
That ain't uniform. That's uniform service. I don't know what uniform states mean, man. Ain't nothing coming up.
What is uniform states concerning employment? The law on requiring an employee to wear uniforms.
I think you made that up, man.
Employee rights and uniform. Can my employer make me pay for uniform and dress code? What is the uniformed states concerning employment?
Siri gonna be like, nigga, I don't know. I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, Uniformed Services Employment and Re-Employment Rights Act of 1994.
That's military shit.
That's military?
Yeah, uniform service.
Federal statute that protects servicemen and veterans. Okay, well, maybe he was in service. Like I said, I missed some of it when I was listening to it. I might have come back in.
What was you talking about though?
No, I thought it was.
The state of
I thought it was
having to carry your own weight and shit.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Carry your own weight.
Yeah, if you got a family and shit, what the fuck you expect to happen? I mean, I don't know a lot about what that whole thing is.
Yeah.
Just from what I get from it.
Like I said, I hadn't looked it up yet.
Like when women file for for government assistance and shit. First thing they do is, hey, where the daddy at? You gonna goddamn send him some mail and shit. If you gonna be getting money from us,
what? Send him some mail.
Hell yeah, you getting all this paperwork. Where that nigga at? I
Send
don't
him
know
some
where he
mail,
at.
yeah.
I don't know.
Talk
They
to
gonna
him
find
too.
that shit. Cause they want him to pay for her assistance. If we gonna give you assistance, this nigga gonna pay for it.
Dang. She ain't gotta pay nothing. God dang, boy, that's kinda hard, that ain't it?
Shit, when I first
Hard for a black man out
when
here.
we first had my daughter, man, she applied for that shit, nigga, and I got mail at the house. Like, fuck. Like, she applied for it at her crib, and I got mail about it at my crib and shit. Like, god damn, like, hey, if we gonna be giving you some free money, nigga, you gonna have to pay.
Good or what?
I'm like, god damn. Like,
Huh?
All right.
You good?
Yeah. It's 20, man.
Yeah.
hey, man, I appreciate the input, man.
No problem. Talk to you soon.
All right.
You too.
Hell yeah. Somebody got to pay, goddamn. So as far as that goes, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about what you're saying. But somebody got to
Lift
fuck
that shit
shit.
up, it sound like you was stuck or something.
It is. Shit.
Huh?
Huh?
Sound like you was stuck when you lifted
We
it up.
ain't gonna pay these kids. We ain't give you nothing. And she ain't get approved for nothing either. No, yeah, we got weight. We got weight. But ain't get no food stamps, no money and shit. Yeah, we ain't get no food stamps and shit. They sent me some goddamn paperwork every month. Okay, your kids getting fed by us, nigga. What you gonna do? I don't even know if we talk about what we want to talk about. Oh yeah, we talked to the foreigners. We talked about the mental state a little bit, not really, but talked a little bit about it. Talked about how they trying to kill that entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh shit, you gonna go back to the mental state? The whole thing.
No, that's my only question, man. Like, is this a real thing or is this one of them things? The communist thing. Like, that's one thing you can't really, fault America for is that whole creating an entrepreneurial spirit.
But
even though America kind of stifled that shit too at this point.
I would
At
like
least
to
you have the freedom to move how you want to move.
But let's say that let's say that to the
Long as
like
you
you
know the
said
law.
like you said the people who are watching, the foreigners. How is it going in your in your
Yeah. How does that pertain
to your sector?
I don't like to use the word foreigner. International.
International.
We all fucking people.
Aliens, hell, we would be alien to your land because I've never been there. But anyway,
Yeah, we all people. We all fucking humans. So we all just happen to be born where the fuck we was born at.
not outer
All that
space
shit.
aliens neither. I don't know. Then again, I could be.
But yeah, man, just feedback on the whole thing, man. Like, since we gonna be, we gonna start being more interactive with the community, with the whatever viewers we getting, just people in general, man. Like, we gotta have these discussions, and for our own peace of mind and sanity, man. Like, it matters if people relate. if people see what you saying and get it, I wake up in the morning feeling better about the state of things, knowing that niggas get it. Motherfuckers is getting it, and we all working against this whole stupid shit they got going on. And, you know, you feel better, feel more confident in your approach when you know that like-minded people exist. People that's trying to figure it out too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, but that whole thing. And it's important for the kids to see it, man. Like, they gotta know that all us ain't fucking stupid and dumb and fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't a fucking idiot, man. Like, we might look crazy when we 1 out of 20, you know.
Unless they trying
but
to
you
make
look
idiots.
less crazy when you 1 out of 5.
You trying to produce idiots?
Yeah, that's their thing. So they want us to be dumb, you know, because dumb people are easily controlled. Dumb people will, you know, do what the fuck they told. Dumb people will speak against their own existence. Dumb people will defend their oppressor. Talk shit to a nigga who fighting the oppression and defend the motherfucker stepping on their neck. That's where we at. A whole bunch of fucking dumb people.
Alright.
So
Then,
you know,
fuck, man.
it's different fucking understanding
What's up with
things for what they
calls,
are.
man?
Just
This is
deciding to opt
like
out.
scam call day.
Yeah, I know shit is fucked up,
But
but I'm
anyway.
gonna just play my part. It's one thing to be that and to
Check
be
this out.
like internalize the shit and really be on some.
Check this
no,
out.
not my America.
Going back to the whole mental health thing. I don't know if this is where it started, but explain this. Universal count. Explain
You
the one person who is on the right side of the question counts for more than all the people who are on the wrong side of the question or issue. This falls in line with the rights of individuals surviving on their own over the ignorance of the masses dependent on government. I think we kind of explained that earlier, didn't we?
what was that about? Who said that?
Oh,
it's the road.
Thoreau.
Yeah, man. Like majority of one, nigga. You gotta stand firm in your shit. But you just can't be fucking like I gotta check myself all the time. Like just because I think this shit don't mean it's right. Just because I feel like I did a certain amount of research and can prove this shit don't mean it's right. We all just trying to figure the shit out. So when you put that up against the whole majority of one thing, that gives me a certain responsibility to truly, sincerely try to figure the shit out. Just, you know, basing what I say on ego and shit is not productive. It's counterproductive. Because ego will have you, you know, that whole, if you criticize or question a wise man, he appreciates you. But if you do the same thing with a fool, then he'll just end up hating you.
If you criticize a fool, he'll end up hating you. That what you said?
Yeah. If you question or, you know, have, you know, a debate or whatever with somebody who's wise, he gonna respect it and check to make sure he know what the fuck he talking about. But with a fool, the fool just end up being mad at you because you checked him. Like the ego is, you know, the ego is in control. They ain't trying to look at the big picture. It's all about being self-conscious. How dare you check me? Fuck you, nigga. Don't check me, even though I'm wrong as fuck. Don't check me, nigga. Don't be telling me I'm wrong, even though I'm wrong. And shit. Fuck that nigga. I don't fuck with that nigga no more. He be telling me I be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you be wrong though. Nigga, fuck you too, nigga. Get that nigga out of here. You know what I'm saying? Tariq Nasheed.
What about him?
He one of them niggas to me. I fuck with him, but that's something I take into account. If he say something and somebody that fuck with him say something about it, like, hey man, we don't want to do that. That nigga be like, man, fuck you. Don't be telling me what to say and shit. Instead of being like, yeah, I guess I kind of get what you're saying. Even though I don't necessarily agree, I respect that you said it. It ain't a hard thing to do. I might not agree with what you said, but, you know, I ain't gonna destroy your whole movement because you checked me and shit. That ego shit. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas got these egos. That's why the whole conscious community is fucked up. Because niggas with a bunch of fucking egos. And agents and shit. Throw the agents in there, you know, that whole thing. But niggas got egos, man. They ain't just trying to simply learn and figure it out. They ready to fight over their stance and shit. Talk shit about niggas because they don't agree on something. Or, you know, the man cheated on his wife and got caught. Now I'm judging him. Like, we was cool, but now I'm judging him. Shit. Like, gay ass shit. Oh, sign that shit. You know all them niggas, man. Always beefing and shit with somebody. Wow. I can't imagine beefing with nobody. If a nigga talk shit about me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, so? If it's true what he say, then damn, I wish that nigga wouldn't have said that, even though, you know, it's all true and shit, and he knows some shit that I don't necessarily want people to know. He done aired my dirty laundry out. Fuck, I wish he wouldn't have said that. But I ain't gonna beef with the nigga. It's like, fuck him. Damn, that's fucked up what he did. But I ain't gonna be, yeah, that nigga, shit, I heard that nigga. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I know he said this about me, but I know something that you don't know either. Like, that gay ass shit. We grown fucking men, man.
Put all the animosity and the ego shit to the side. Let's put that to the side right now, because not like I say, not switching the subject. We're gonna put that to the side because, you know, there's been a few Black Wall Streets. So in order to create those environments, it had to be a more of a wise decisions going on to create those environments, right? Yeah. So, like I say, so it couldn't have been too much of ego, more wise decisions instead of ignorant, foolish decisions. So,
well, I mean, to simplify it, that's a little simplifying of shit. Like, I'm sure niggas had egos, but niggas also didn't have a whole lot of other options. So that played a part. That's what, you know, segregation, integration, that whole thing.
Right, a whole lot of other options to go against the grain.
Yeah.
But then look how the shit ended up.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask this question. How do you we're gonna say how do we feel? I'm gonna let you go about if Black Wall Streets was still going on today. How do you feel it would, you know what I'm saying? What do you think it would look like? What do you just, you know what I'm saying?
Black Wall Streets?
The Wall Streets, the black cities that were developed and, you know, and were operating just fine.
What would it look like today?
What would it look like today? What that shit look like to you?
I can't imagine it because...
What? What you mean? You ain't got no fucking imagination of it?
I could see it, but I can't see it because that's what the whole Tulsa thing was about.
What?
Economic destruction. It wasn't just Tulsa, Wilmington, Durham, all these other places where black people was just doing their own thing. You know, it's not a case of you drop these niggas off after slavery and they have access to whatever the fuck you got access to. It's you drop these niggas off after slavery and the doors are still closed. I ain't fucking with that nigga. Even though he better at work, I'm not gonna hire that nigga. You know, he's, you know, everything that America's claimed to pride itself in, black people was that back then. About their economics, about family, about advancement, building up technology and all that shit. Niggas was that. And they just simply was like, fuck y'all, I know we had to goddamn abolish slavery and shit, but it ain't going no further than that, nigga. You figure it out yourself. So niggas ain't had no choice. If you want to live and survive, nigga, you gotta do what you gotta do. And ultimately, white people had their back to the situation for long enough for us to build something. As soon as white people realized that, oh hell, these motherfuckers actually building something. We can't let this shit happen. They destroyed it. Like, fuck that. Not just the rednecks and shit, but the whole government. Like, it wasn't rednecks flying in planes, dropping bombs and shit. It was the government. So, I can't see it existing now. Instead of doing that, they started doing projects and shit. They made it a point to, from then on, shut down any kind of black economics. They saw what the potential was and was like, we can't allow it. It wasn't just Tulsa. All these cities in the fucking country where black people was forced to be.
But it was potential.
That's the point. That's what they're afraid of. That's why we in the state we in now.
So you can't even
a bunch of rich niggas.
You can't.
But only 1% of America is owned by black people. 2%.
That's how you feel.
You got a bunch of rich niggas, but only 2%.
The potential is what I want.
Wealth is in black hands. How the fuck is that?
Potential is what I want to, you know what I'm saying, grasp and get a hold of, because there was potential. You know, you had your own hospitals, your own lawyer offices, your own this, your own that, and it was possible. It actually happened.
But it ain't happened since.
No. In
the 70s and 80s, I think there was another, you know, push to do that whole thing. But I saw personally, nigga, I was alive for it. To see how they cut all that shit off. Like, even if you want to boil it down to entertainment, nigga. In the 80s and 90s, niggas was building shit. You know what I'm saying? Black directed and written shows, black movies, black music. Like, you know, and then they cut all that shit off. Living single with friends. You know, like, in the last 20 years, what kind of black TV we've been having? You know, wholesome type shit. Ain't a whole lot. Ever since the 2000s.
Man, that shit's really not in here, bro.
The music and shit. All this shit, man. To go from jazz to what hip hop is now.
But it ain't got no fucking juice.
Black people ain't had nothing to do with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at who the fuck is the representatives of all the black artists and shit. It's a bunch of goddamn Ashkenazi Jews and shit. Wow, how? Drew Ha. I used to always wonder, like, why they got this white dude running this shit? Even though he seemed to allow them to do what the fuck they wanted. I always wondered, like, why don't niggas do it on their own? You know? Then you look into history and shit, and you see the people who did push for that. Most of them niggas got murdered, nigga. Sam Cooke. Look what they did to Prince. James Brown. All these people, man, who ran their own shit. Most of the niggas got destroyed, nigga. Michael Jackson. It's not by mistake, nigga. We only got a few niggas who actually running something. We got the Jay Princes and you know, Quincy Jones and Berry Gordy and you know, Spike Lee. You know what I'm saying? Even Spike Lee, I think, is fucking compromised, though. He been saying some wild shit for a few years now. Pushing the fucking shot and all some silly shit. But, yeah, man, you can't keep it real, dude. Like, Dick Gregory is one in a fucking trillion, nigga. Talk shit to these niggas and still be allowed to exist. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas got murked. They got murked. I think they killed Bob Marley and shit. Like, all these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Fucking the threats, man. Threats. Can't be a threat, nigga. They will take you out, nigga. So you gotta be like Lil Nas X and shit. Being pregnant. Just ridiculous.
But you asked this question too.
You got niggas defending that shit too.
You asked this question, but this, I think. Now, what we was just talking about, I had went back to the thing about entrepreneurship. I think that's what we was talking about. But now it's like is you asked the question: are we I'm gonna say are we in tune with, or is it that people are more in tune with their emotions, or are we in tune with our emotions, or emotionally unstable?
I believe.
And my response to that was depends on the approach and the reaction. Has the age of information made more people conceited and narcissistic, or even vulnerable to subjectivity?
It ain't the information part. It's the exposure part. It's the
exposure.
Yeah.
Like being exposed to it. How so the exposure?
No, being able to get exposure. I can, there was a time when you wouldn't be able to put yourself out there like that. You could put yourself out there from the fucking sitting on the toilet and shit. Take a picture of yourself, put it on Instagram, and you ain't got to do shit. So just the fact that, now the most popular pose for a woman is to be turned around showing your ass. That's a prerequisite to take a selfie now. You know what I'm saying? That let me know how far we done fell. Because it's just a standard thing. Like, women don't even get offended by it no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's common shit. You take a picture. If I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see a picture of a pretty woman in some nice shit, and there's the two options, like you gotta swipe, 80% of the time it's gonna be, the second picture is gonna be her with her ass to the camera. You feel what I'm saying? How is that standard? It's because that whole thing with the, like you said, the information age, I think it's the exposure element of it, aspect of it. What's acceptable? What's being approved? What do you get more likes from? What do you get so more exposure for? So
we are more in tune with being subjected than the actual emotion.
Like, it's beautiful that you can sell your shit
and not understand it, and don't even understand the unstableness of it.
It's one thing to be, it's a beautiful thing to be able to sell your shit without having to go through the old avenues, having to sell your shit short for acceptance at an art gallery or a fucking publishing company or a radio or music company. You gotta dumb your lyrics down and all that shit. Now you can put your shit out how you want to put it out, and it's all based on the reaction, the response. It's the same thing as in the fucking prostituting yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's rough.
If I get 100 likes from posing like a fucking decent woman, but I could get 5,000 for showing my ass and shit, hey, you gonna get it's just math, nigga. It's gonna be a whole lot of ass showing.
I think I'd rather damn take it the other way.
And it's,
not like that. I'm saying, I think I'd rather have it the other way, boy.
What's the other way?
Cause man, you put that shit out like that.
What?
On social media, whatever you may be putting out, and you got thousands of friends, and your ass only get 3-4 likes. I'd rather say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let me make some CDs and go and hand them out personally. You probably get more of a little quainter reaction.
So
something more quaint. Something
what
more.
What the fuck is quaint?
Yeah, something more.
Using these words, nigga, just say the fuck you want to say.
Something more, an easier reaction than, damn, you got 4,000 friends and only 5 likes. You probably you probably let them listen to a little bit of it, and they be like, oh, that's nice right there, but I don't have money right now, or I'm just gonna chill. I don't really listen to that, but it sound good. You see what I'm saying? You'll
Authentic, like
okay. Or
I don't like so you saying
if you got 4,000 friends and you only get 10 likes, nigga, you gonna be like, fuck. I got 4,000 friends, I only got 10 likes. Damn. So now you subjected to the likes instead of being subjected to actually having to be tangible. You know what I'm saying? Accessible, tangible. I'd rather go through the hard grind. The hard grind, gives you a better outlook.
Realer.
Right, it's more realer.
Like, like people look at likes as like money, value and shit. I ain't getting my like. I'll be damned if I'm gonna get my like. Even if I like it, I ain't getting my like. That whole thing. In person,
whether you get it done or not, it still has its value. Whether they take it or receive it or not, it still has a
it equates
value.
more in real life as opposed to digital. The moments are realer. People reaction is realer. You get, once again conditioned. Like you said, you got 4,000 subscribers,
and you held more accountable to your reaction and your, you know what I'm saying, how it go. You're more accountable.
Imagine being in a room with 4,000 people that claim to fuck with you, and you do something dope, and only 3 people respond. It ain't gonna happen. You feel what I'm saying?
What you mean? It ain't gonna happen.
You gonna get more support than that. If there's 4,000 people in a room,
unless the shit
and they
just
claim to
garbage.
fuck with you,
Unless it's just garbage.
Hold up, man. So even if it is garbage,
even if it is,
if to follow somebody is
right.
saying that you fuck with them. So put in the real world sense, you got 4,000 people in the room or wherever, and you do something, whether it's dope or not. If they claim to fuck with you in the first place, they're gonna give you props, even if it ain't all that.
Somehow, even if it's just a handshake,
just for support,
fist bump, nigga.
But there's no real obligation to do that with the Instagram thing, with the Facebook thing. Like you just imagine somebody you close with, you saying some shit that you feel is important, deep, or whatever the fuck, and that motherfucker hear it and just don't even respond to it. Like with people who you really know in real life on Instagram, you do something you think is dope, and motherfuckers don't like it. In that platform, it's not as hard to take. They just don't like it for whatever reason. You just take it for what it is. But in real life, nigga, if I'm doing something that's dope and you there to see it, you gonna give me props. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I sit here and look at this shit.
Because if not, you gonna feel like a fool because I can see you and you showing me that you don't have no interest in what I'm doing.
With the whole social media thing and how they damn manipulated or whatever, man, it should be seen. And this whole pandemic and shit,
thing with it.
Seemed like a fucking stress test, bro.
It's not like you at a place and it's real life and I'm here and you there. We got somebody in between us. Instagram is a fucking thing that's in between us, like manipulating how we do relate to each other or interact with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Stress test.
For good or for bad. For better or worse. It's still something in between. You know what I'm saying? That whole social credit thing.
A mediator.
That whole social credit thing.
A mediator.
If Instagram is...
What the fuck is that?
Is paying you in a certain light...
To go see a...
damn, you know what I'm saying? If Instagram is paying you in a certain light...
Shrinking.
And it affects in real life how you deal with me, that's going to affect our relationship.
Shrinking niggas.
What the fuck ever, nigga?
You know what they call it? You know what I'm saying? You got to go see the shrink. They shrinking niggas. Come on, man.
I don't know what that means. Fuck for me, man.
You'll never laugh at my jokes. You won't be laughing at all his jokes.
I don't want you to do shit, nigga. If it's funny, it's funny. If it ain't, don't laugh.
But
nigga.
Anyway.
I'm glad you said that over
like the
man,
mediator.
shit,
Like the mediator, though. The mediation in between it. But they say you need to go have, when they send you to somebody, they say you need to go have, what they call them? When you go see somebody to talk to the mediator, counseling. It's like fucking damn blind counseling.
Yeah. They putting shit in your brain and you not conscious of it. It's not like you going in the office
and you telling
them what you feel.
No, you are, because you on fucking social media.
No, what I'm saying is, if you go somewhere, that's what I'm saying, that whole invisible motherfucker in between.
Invisible.
You know what I'm saying? If you go to a fucking shrink and tell them your problems
That's
and
real
expect
different.
a response
that's
is different than you think you communicating with people, and there's this thing, there's this shrink in between that's translating, you know what I'm saying? Or getting in between that whole thing. If
it's not intermediate anymore, it's not intermediate counseling. It's fucking broad. That shit is like a broad.
it's umbrella, it's a fucking, it's like the Wizard of Oz and shit. But the wizard got cameras everywhere. So
Nah, nigga, shit like motherfucking
so you can see
Alice in Wonderland, nigga. You fall down the hole, you go deeper and deeper in that fucking rabbit hole, nigga.
Yeah, but
To that
it's
whole
deeper
fucking
than that.
land, into the land of the.
It's deeper than that because they know you. They didn't necessarily know Alice. Alice appeared and they had to judge her based on, you know, her introduction.
Same thing. You
No,
had to know
it's
you
not the
once
same
you got
thing.
in and
Listen,
then,
man, so that's not the same thing as the motherfuckers knowing who you are before you even show up. Inside and out. They know who we are inside and out before we even show up. It's not the same thing. And they monitoring every move while we in Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just going from house to house and going on these adventures. They watching everything as it's happening. So you introduce yourself to this person. You don't know who the fuck this person is, but they know who you are. So who the fuck is this person really? They present themselves as this thing. Who the fuck are they really? It ain't just like Alice where she introduced herself and they just got to figure it out as they go. They already know who you are. And they monitoring you the whole way through. You know what I'm saying?
how they know?
Because you put all your life on a device. And they keep all that shit. When you looking at porn, nigga, they watching you. And they keeping a tab on the porn you watch. Getting an understanding of who you are. When you putting shit on Facebook, they watching and they processing that shit to figure out who you are. When you doing Google searches on weird shit that you probably want nobody else to know that you searching for, they know this and they keeping a tab on it, so they know the obscure parts of your fucking mind because you putting it on their thing. So when you come, all they gotta do is, oh yeah, that's that blah 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 nigga. Yeah, I know everything about him. Matter of fact, if we want to kill him, this is probably the best way to do it. Because he allergic to this, so we can just slip some shit and blah, blah, blah. They know everything about you. That nigga ain't got no good credit, so all we gotta do is, to X him out of this whole thing is, disqualify him for being able to operate. Don't approve him for shit. You know what I'm saying? Put shit in his Google searches or YouTube or whatever that contradict everything he got to say or everything he believed. Put some shit on there that contradicted just to question him, to slow him down on his pursuit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Book of Eli. Imagine, you seen that movie?
Yeah, I see.
Imagine if everybody, as he going on his trek to the west or whatever, or to the east, whatever, west. He was going west, I think, or east. I don't remember. But imagine he going to all these different stops along his travels, and every time he got somewhere, they knew who the fuck he was. He wouldn't have made it far at all. You know what I'm saying? They had to figure him out as he went. Like, what's up with this nigga? We gonna try to fuck him up, and he gonna whoop our ass and shit. Oh, now I know he a bad motherfucker. What if they knew he was a bad motherfucker in the first place, and instead of fighting him, they just put a gun in his head and blew his fucking head, his brains out? That's the difference between now and then. They don't have to figure out who you are now. They know who you are. When you apply for a job, nigga, you can put whatever you want on the fucking thing. But if they do enough, pay enough to have people, they know everything about you by the time you come for the second interview. It ain't just about what's on the paperwork. I might be able to check the, call this job and find out whether he worked here or not and what kind of worker he was. It's everything, nigga. And not only that, I want to know what's in your body, nigga. So it ain't just about whether you got drugs, nigga. They want to keep a tab on what the fuck you got in your system. Physicals and all this shit. Cholesterol and all this shit. They want to know everything. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, we like $1,050,000. $1,030,000. I made an hour 30. What you think?
I'm cool with it.
Shit, man. That's what's up.
My brother told me, well, no, we'll talk about it.
Man, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, man.
You know-
We gonna put our Cash App. Everybody keeps saying we need to put our Cash App on it just in case. So I'm gonna put my shit on there. I don't send you a kid if you want. Donate and shit. If you want us to fly to your country and speak in front of in front of a group, we're willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? So just send us some goddamn money. If you want us to, wear like costumes and shit and make an ass out of ourselves, Sanchez volunteers. He don't mind doing it.
Shit.
Like bumblebee suits.
We ain't talking
and
about
like,
that.
Like teddy bear suits and like worm suits where he could just be a worm on the ground or
Man, say
just
the children.
clown shit. If you want
the children,
if you
man.
need a clown, go ahead holler at Sanchez and he'll do that shit.